Testing, 1, 2, 3. How do I see if people are here? Are people watching? How do I see the comments? I always forget how to do this. Chat. There's the chat. Oh, damn. Yo, what is up, my friends? We are live. We'll wait for a few people to hop in. Looks like we have a decent crowd. What's up, everybody? I was planning for this live stream, and I was making it super rigid. And I realized that there's just too much going on in Claude Code right now for me to keep it rigid. So these are things that I want to talk about, or things we can talk about. But I'm open to kind of go off in random directions, maybe some explorations. There's a lot of things going on in Claude Code right now just a ton of new things going on right now. And so I wanted to keep it open. Maybe we dive into some weird stuff towards the end. I do want to get a little bit for the first like 15, 20 minutes, just for those who are brand new to Claude Code on how to get started. And then we are going to talk about some of the more fun things. And I really want to talk about the Agent SDK. What the Agent SDK is basically you can create your own like Claude Code. So like build your own. It's like build your own agent, and it behaves like Claude Code, and it's really cool. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. And then I do want to go over like what people are talking about. So like there's a lot of people talking about Claude Code, as you guys know. So like what are people talking about? And then I'll give you my thoughts on that, like my thoughts on what people are talking about. And then, yeah, we'll just kind of freestyle. Oh, yeah, and then Remotion. Maybe if enough of the people in the audience want this to be a main focus, I can do it. Basically, this is like agentic video editing. For example, right? So this is the Remotion announcement. And so you can basically create like these like launch style videos. Like this was created with Claude Code, and I've been spending a lot of time doing it. And yeah, I've been using Remotion a lot for the past few days. I'm not going to spend too much time in Vibe Code, which uses Claude Code. I just wanted to show you my Remotion canvas. Like these are the things that I've created with Remotion, and it's actually insane. Definitely wild stuff. Okay, yeah. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to see a lot of Remotion content today. But yeah, like I created this with one prompt using Remotion, which like you can see, hey, please change the app, make it better. Like this was created with a prompt, which is pretty fun. And so that's something we could talk about a little bit later. Yes, we want Remotion. Cool. I want to hear about the 7 tools I use daily. Okay, I can talk about 3 of them. The ones that are kind of more tool-based. 4 of them are kind of internal tools, data for my company. Oh, wow, 1's all over the chat. Okay, cool. We have like 15 comments that came in. 2, someone doesn't want Remotion. Okay. Well, we're not going to be able to satisfy everyone, and I'm okay with that. But we're not going to talk about it right away. We're going to talk about Remotion later. All Remotion is agentic video editing, or like video animation. And I think it's really interesting. And kind of the premise behind Remotion is skills. So like it is a skill. So like there's a Remotion skill. And so like we can talk about other skills and how to create skills and what Claude Code skills are. I think that could be really interesting. Agents SDK is cool too. And they're all related. Like all of these are related. It's all about agents. The more of you and your process, the better. Can we talk about how to publish app as a website? Definite after project running, task management skills, sub-agents, UI building, personal assistant. Have you ever heard of beads, Rust? No. I would like to know if you would talk about how you use it in your daily life, like real life improvements through this. Quick question. I feel like my credits run out too fast. Billing, what is your way to do? Geez, wow, this is the most comment. There's a lot of people in this live stream. This is great. Okay, so one way that we could start this, actually, as a fun place to start, let's go ahead and screenshot this right here. And let's go over to, I'm using the Claude Code extension within Cursor. That's how I personally use it. I'm non-technical. You could open up the terminal. A lot of people like to open up the terminal and you can run Claude and you can run Claude Code like this. And then whatever you type here is the same as just using the Claude Code extension. You can, if you are, I am going to assume a little bit of experience in this video, just a little bit, because I don't want to go too basic. Like I don't want to explain what Cursor is. I think ideally, you will have like you've opened Cursor before and maybe you've added an extension. I think that would be a good amount of experience that you've had so far. But I'm using Cursor, which is an IDE. You can see all of your code files here. And we're just using the Claude Code extension. It's the same as if you were running Claude in the terminal. And Claude runs in your terminal, and this will allow us to interface with it. And so what I can do is I can paste that image, right? I can paste this image right here that we have, and I'm going to say, I am doing a live stream about Claude Code. Please create a landing page that serves as an overview of what we're talking about and then I'm going to give it a style. I like monochrome. I like black and white neo-brutalist style. It's this weird style I found, and I just like it for simple things. Please make it. And so maybe we'll let Claude Code determine the, geez, there's a lot of comments. Okay, how exactly would you start a session in Cursor with Claude Code? Okay, yes, assume basic competency. That might be the best way to do it. I can let people get up to speed. But the point is, we're using Cursor, right? Cursor.ai. When you open Cursor, it'll look like this. Let me open this up. So new window. What the heck? Yes, allow edits. I'm going to close out of this one. When you open Cursor, you'll get a window that looks like this. You just create a new project. I created a new project called Livestream. And now we are operating within this directory. And now there's an index HTML file. That's it. I'm just going to put this over here, actually. Make this a lot smaller. Yeah, and then we can just say, like, run this locally. Or you could tell Cursor. I like using Cursor for, like, running the project locally. And then I just use Claude Code for creating all the code. But here we go. It ran this. And so Claude Code created this basically in one prompt, Claude Code Livestream. And so this is one of the simple use cases that I really like for Claude Code. And I think this would actually be a good time to bring up this right here. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of people who don't know what to create with Claude Code. Let me get this live stream back on the other platform here. A lot of people don't know where to start when it comes to with Claude Code. Like maybe you've literally have never vibe coded before, you vibe coded a little bit. This is kind of how I divide the three types of projects. You could say 3 types of projects to start with on Claude Code. And just make this like massive. So you have like static pages, which I just created, right? This is just a Claude Code live stream, right? This is a fun way to just take a drawing that we did on Excalidraw. I threw it in Claude Code. I said, make a little page in a specific style. I like this style. It's very easy to follow. And sorry, I'm getting distracted by these questions. And yeah, I can just create it for a single use case. And so these are what I call like static pages. These are apps with no backends. These are things like artifacts, landing pages, research documents, visualizations. And so the cool thing about Claude Code, if we go back to cursor here, that's running Claude Code. Remember, this is Claude Code. I can say for each of these pages here, I want you to do research for each one of these topics. I want you to do research on each of them and make those boxes clickable, and it takes me to a new page and educates me in simple language about these topics. Please create this and run it again. Okay, so basically what I asked Claude Code to do is it is going to, see right here it says, what is Claude Code? I'm asking Claude Code to do research on this. And so it's going to be using the web search tool. As you can see here, you can see that when you use Claude Code, it has built-in tools that it can use. And one of those is web search. You see here it's searching the web. It searched building apps with Claude Code best practices 2025. And it can do all of these things, and it can create these static pages. And so we're creating this kind of static landing page. You can get it to create diagrams for you. I find it much more fun to use than like AI slide deck tools, because you can get it to literally do anything. Like you can have like just be fully creative. And so on top of research, yeah, visualization, slide decks, PDF documents, company voting apps. These are kind of fun. This might be kind of more in here because it does require auth, and people on your team should like sign in. But it is still pretty static. Event pages and then company dashboards. Someone says, Riley, I'm already falling behind. Next time, give us software to download, apps to prepare, etc. Okay, maybe I didn't assume. Feels like Riley would benefit from someone else paying attention to and asking questions in the chat so he can concentrate on presenting. That might be true. Yes, totally. But yes, yeah, this is much harder than I thought to have this many people. Maybe I should have had a specific agenda, but we're going to fight through this. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Okay, maybe I will take it back. I'm going to take 5 minutes to just explain this a little bit deeper. But I thought I explained it. Forget the chat. Okay, I'm going to forget the chat for a second. But yeah, and then what separates static pages from apps and games are generally a backend. And some games can just be static games, like these. This could be over here. But when you want to go from here to here, you need a backend, which the three things that kind of separate these types of apps that you can create are like sign-in, database, and authenticate. Yeah, sign in or authentication. And then I would say like APIs and integrations. And so these are like API keys that you can use. Like you can use the OpenAI API, In this case, you could use like the Claude API, or as we'll talk about later, the Claude SDK. So this is what, like when people say like AI wrappers, or like a ChatGPT wrapper, that's what they're talking about. You're using these APIs, which allows you to like add ChatGPT to your app. And we could do that right now with this Claude Code. But anyway, we are creating, let's see, where we're at. It's still working. So this is doing, I asked it to do research. I asked Claude Code here to do research on all of these topics. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Claude Code is becoming so autonomous, and it can basically just go off. Sometimes it can work for 20 minutes. And so this is one of the reasons why people are running many of them at the same time. And I can actually do that. Like I could literally just open another terminal. And many people, and this might be confusing to people because I'm using the extension, but many people use the terminal. Personally, I just like this interface better. They're identical processes. Remotion is new. Okay, yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there in just a second. What I'm going to do, actually, let's go ahead and start over from scratch. So I'm going to start a new project. We're going to let this one run in the background, but I'm going to open up a new cursor, and we're just going to get into some fun stuff. I just kind of want to go over the process of setting up Claude Code. So if you use Cursor, I personally use Cursor. You don't have to use Cursor. Cursor allows you to view the terminal. And what you can also do is you can just run Claude Code in the terminal directly. And wait, let me see here. Cursor lets you view a terminal within the directory that you're working. And you can see here, Claude Code is actively adding files to this. And so I can run terminal, and I could run Claude here as well. So I'm just running Claude Code in your terminal. Claude Code is a program that runs in your terminal, and it couldn't be, like, you actually don't need to use Cursor for it. I wish this was going faster. Thanks for the high-level overview. Now help us get set up. What do you guys need help with to get set up? This is not meant to be necessarily like a follow-along type thing. A follow-along type video will be a long video that that I would do recorded. This was meant to be just kind of a free exploration. Okay, so we have Claude Code working. It's still working. What should I create? Yeah. Okay, so we have Claude Code working. I'm going to go ahead and open up a new Cursor instance. I'm just going to hop straight into what I'm interested in right now. Maybe I wasn't quite mentally prepared enough to like dive super deep in the basics. I didn't prepare like a presentation on how to get started, but I do want to talk about skills. And so we can do two things at once because Claude Code is working on the other thing. So one thing I want to talk about is the Remotion skill. Now, this is really, really fun. So when, and again, so we just set up a new project in Cursor. For those of you who want to follow along, all I'm doing is I'm going to extensions, and I'm using this Claude Code extension. And once you've installed this Claude Code extension, you can turn it on just like this. And now I'm going to just close out of this window. And now we're using Claude Code in Cursor. Now, there's a new thing that was just released. And so it is called Remotion. And so the cool thing about Claude Code, they recently released something new called skills. And these skills are like little prompts that Claude Code can use when Claude Code thinks it needs to, right? So you can think of it like a prompt, but it's like optional to Claude Code. And when you set up a skill, you basically set up like a little description that says when to use this skill. And so when And you can very easily download this. So, or you can very easily use these skills simply by, like, all I did when I first wanted to use it, and this is how smart Claude Code is, you can just copy this tweet and you can just say, the above tweet is about Remotion. I already made a, I already tweeted about this. So my Remotion setup, I already have a prompt. And so I'm going to just copy this right here. I'll go over it too. Yeah, so I'm just going to copy this. So basically, I'm just saying the above tweet is about Remotion, just giving it some context. Please add a Claude Code skill along with the interface for video animation. I want to create an app that very simply allows us to use the Remotion skill. And then I said, read more. I gave it this like search term to search up on the internet. And after you create this skill, then I'll be able to ask you to create a video in a canvas. The purpose, oh, actually, I already did this. The sole purpose of this app should be a little canvas that you can edit and manipulate to and change it so that you can make a video. Optimize this for openness and be able to edit each scene in the video after the first generation. And make sure to look up Claude Code Skills and make it perfect formatting. I've noticed a few times that Claude Code doesn't always format them correctly. It is getting better as of recently, but Claude Code will just set up your skill. And so what it's going to do is it's going to, and I'll just say yes. I wish I could just run this and dangerously skip permissions, or I can. I'm not doing that for now. But what we're doing here is we are setting up a little canvas for Claude Code to create animated videos. And these animated videos, so for instance, we paid money for this video. The company, VibeCode, most of you know that I'm the co-founder at VibeCode. I paid someone to make this video. And it was a very simple, like, animated video. It showed a screen recording. It showed building a mobile app. And so, like, these types of animations right here, like this video got 708,000 views. And these videos are going to be possible. You're going to be able to generate videos like this with using Remotion. And that's why I think it's such a big deal, because companies often spend thousands of dollars on this. We have an in-house marketing team, so we don't pay that much, but we're going to be able to create high quality animated videos at scale with Remotion. And I've been using it a lot in my B-roll. And so that's kind of some background on this. We're going to allow this stuff. Let's see, it's still learning about it. So I told Claude Code to set it up. So right now it's learning about this new skill because it's not in the training data. So it's searching the internet, trying to figure out how to use this Claude skill or Remotion skill. And yeah. Some people are saying I'm going too fast. Yeah, I think I've made so many videos about how to get started with Claude Code. Like, all you do is just go ask Claude. For those of you who are behind, go to Claude and say, how do I download Claude Code? And then you'll get it. Like, just do that. I don't know what to tell you. Like, just run this in your terminal. And then you just open up terminal. Everyone has a terminal. And you can just run this. Or you can download the extension on Cursor. Either way. Anyway, where was I? still setting up. And so this is the funny part about Claude Code is a lot of your time is spent waiting. And that is why people, some people in the chat are talking about Ralph Wiggum. And Ralph Wiggum is, and this is, I might sound naive talking about it, but it's basically a way to keep Claude Code running longer and longer. And you're basically like, once it's done, it will like re-trigger Claude Code and it will run it again. And because people are getting bored of doing this. They're bored of babysitting. As you see here, Claude Code just created a new skills folder. Now it created a subfolder within skills folder called Remotion-video. So this is like the proper formatting for skills. Again, I don't know. I understand people are like, you're promoting your tool, blah, blah, blah. Like, again, I don't care if you use my tool. It's just the easiest way for me to explain this right now. But in this Remotion tool, by the way, this is running Claude Code. It is literally running Claude Code. But for now, we're talking about how to use Claude Code in the terminal. But this has the same skills folder. So as you can see here, the two skills that I have, so this is the exact formatting. There's the .claude folder. For those of you who use, whenever you use Claude Code, there's a .claude folder that will have rules. It'll have a skills folder if you have any skills. And within the skills folder, there's a subfolder. This is kind of annoying in my opinion. But I'm going to go into exactly how these are formatted. Let's go ahead and go to this one right here. So this skill is a skill creator skill. So again, .claude folder, then there's a skill folder, and then there's a folder for the skill. And so this is skill-creator. And within that, there's a skill.md file. This skill.md file is basically a prompt for Claude Code to use whenever it needs to do a specific task. And it knows when to do the specific task because of this line right here. So guide for creating effective skills. This skill should be used when users want to create a new skill. And so Claude, whenever Claude is run, it checks this skills folder and sees if it should be using any of these skills. The reason this is useful is because just like any other AI model, there's limits to context, right? You can't, how do I word this? For basically every single time it's going to read your system instructions. So Claude Code has baked in system instructions and there's a claude.md file. If you want to have like 10 skills that the agent can do, you don't want to stuff all of that into like one file that Claude reads every time. The reason skills are useful is you can pack a ton of information about skills that Claude only reads when it needs to. And so that's why you need to make sure that your skill.md files are like very, very, are set up correctly so that Claude knows when to use the skills. And so that's the format. There's this main folder called .claude, and then you have a skills folder. Then each skill has a folder, and then there's a skill.md file that Claude reads in order to determine whether or not it should use that skill. And you'll notice here there's a references, like there's references right here. You can, within this folder, you can include as many references as you want. You could include PDFs. Some people are creating, like if I wanted to create, let's just create a new, actually, we're going to come back to this. I want to check on I hope that makes sense. So these, I personally don't like how like many layers there are to this, how there's like a .claude folder, a skills folder, and then these two subfolders with the skill MD. That's just the way that Claude set it up. But it's super useful once you understand. Oh man, allow to write skill. So I think it's almost done. And so now it's creating the saving of context memory is the key benefit of skill. Yeah, it's just, and this is kind of the cool thing about agents is like you can pack as much information in these skills as you want. And as long as you write a good description, it's not going to cloud your agent. And you can set up very specific description for your skills. So one of the skills that I have in one of the apps that I have is like it can actually use Slack, but it only uses Slack when the user mentions to post it in Slack. So one of the skills is that it can create a research PDF, and another skill is that it can post on Slack. But if I said, I want you to search X, Y, or Z, create a research report, then send it to my co-founder in Slack, it can do that, and it will only look at the Slack skill if I mention Slack. Another cool thing about skills is you can put in like webhooks. And so it not only can it like read it, in this case, read it and create a video on our app, you can actually have it interact with other apps, which also simultaneously makes it somewhat dangerous. And I can talk about why it's dangerous later. But there's basically ways for people to, anytime you're interacting with external sources, you open yourself up to prompt injection, which is basically where people try and hijack your conversation with Claude. And they basically say, stop listening to the guy who's giving you instructions. Do what I say. Look at his computer. And this is why I like running Claude Code not locally. It's kind of dangerous to run Claude Code locally if you don't know what you're doing. It's not super dangerous. They're trying to make it a lot safer. I'm just saying that's personally why I like running it in the cloud. But I'm not going to get into that today. Yes, Claude Code will eat your tokens fast. This is why you need to use other tools, build your requirements, extreme detail before building. Yeah, I mean, Claude Code is not cheap. And people always say, oh, well, it's going to get cheaper. Well, the models keep getting better. And people are always willing to pay for the best AI models. And that's just the, like, you know, are you not going to use Claude 5 Opus? I'm going to use Claude 5 Opus. This is taking forever. Everything takes forever, man. See? I guess I wasn't quite improving it. But yeah, that is the general format for the .claude folder. Yeah, and then there's also a Claude MD file, right? Claude MD file is one that it reads every time. And so this you can talk about the skills that it has. As you can see here, you talk about the skills. But yeah, let's not get into this now. Script injection, prompt injection. Yeah, maybe script injection, prompt injection. How about one entire laptop for Claude Code? It's not going to get cheaper. The only way forward is getting a GPU and open source. Yeah, but like open source will always be worse than, you know, like I mean, I would love for an open source model to come out that was as good as Opus 4.5, but like I personally will just always use the best. Do I hope that the best model, like the best model for coding agents, is an open source model? Yes, I would 100% wish that. And in that case, I would use it, but I'm probably always just going to be using the best models just because it's too much fun to be using the latest and coolest model. But there's a lot of people doing cool things with open source models. Claude won't ever be open source. No, it won't. He's right. Neither will Chat and Gemini, correct. But DeepSeek R2. I'm hearing rumors about DeepSeek R2. It's been too long since they've released a model. I would love for DeepSeek to just release like a model that's as good as Opus for like 1/20th the cost. Every vibe coding tool would get better and cheaper, and it would just be awesome. Everything would get better. There's one that just came out 3 weeks ago. I'm sure it's not as good. I would have probably heard about it already. Okay, hold on. Are we getting close? This is taking forever, low-key. Example, how do you code a tool that scripts and creates YouTube videos, ads, uploads them, uploads them, and then monitors them in Google Ads? Have you tried asking Claude Code to just do that? Sounds like a fun little experiment. Maybe I'll make a video on that. Sounds like a long video, trying to figure out how to interact. I've always noticed that someone, can I show people's stuff? Oh, I can. So Darcy W said, how do I code a tool that scripts and creates YouTube video ads, uploads them and monitors them in Google Ads? I've noticed that interacting with Google's APIs are like a nightmare. That's one reason why I think that would take forever. It's just super annoying to interact with Google's APIs. They make it like kind of hard compared to other APIs. What do you think of anti-gravity? I haven't tested anti-gravity. It's one of those things that like I don't see the benefit of trying it really. I know that they were giving away some build separate skill for each tool. Many shows instructions. Auth is the hardest thing for these agents to handle. Yes, 100%. Can you go over Claude Chrome? Damn, a lot of respect for live streamers. It's just so hard with a lot of people in the chat. Okay, so it looks like it's done. Okay, so I've actually never done this locally. I want to create one scene that says hello world. Create. Oh, one thing you need to do, anytime you create a skill, this is actually pretty important. So we have one skill called Remotion-video. Here's the skill.md. The skill is called Remotion Video. One thing that you can do when first testing it out, you can literally just like copy the name. But one thing you need to do is you need to refresh your chat or else it won't be able to use the skill. And so I can just go /clear conversation. And we're basically just going to start a new one. And I'm going to say, please use the, and I'll paste this in, Remotion Video skill to create one scene that says hello world, and I want to be able to see it and then edit it by telling you what to change. Okay, so now we're telling Claude Code to create a scene. Someone says Vibe Code uses Claude Code. Correct. Yes. One of the easiest ways to get started on Claude Code is again, this is a experimental tool we spent 1 week building. So the company that I co-founded is vibecode.dev. And we wanted to test running these 3 models on the internet, like in a sandbox. So you can literally test this out for free, I believe. I actually don't remember because we don't market this product anymore, but it's still out there. And you can actually just run Claude Code in the web. In fact, it might be the easiest way to do it. Anything that you can do, like you can see here, it's running Opus 4.5. It's literally a virtual terminal. However, Claude, Anthropic made it not allowed to like sign in with your own account. But like you could just say like make a hello, like actually I could just give it the same prompt I gave it here. Make a Remotion skill app that lets me use it, search it. Okay, I'm just going to run that in the background. I'll forget about that for a bit. I just wanted to throw that out there. It is a really easy way to use Claude Code, but it's just kind of an experimental platform. Okay. Oh yeah, so earlier, for those of you who've been watching the whole time, I asked Claude Code to create a research report. And you see it did all of this research. So what is Claude Code? The basics, core features, how is it different, where it runs, your terminal, browser window. Maybe I should have done this before and I should have just given this to everyone. This is actually kind of useful. Getting set up, this would have been useful, actually. That's hilarious. Well, anyway, maybe I will put that on the internet in just a second. Okay, here we go. So I don't want to open this in the, actually, I guess we could do it in the browser of Cursor. Okay, let's see what happens here. Welcome, created with Remotion. Your content here. Thanks for watching. Okay, so we have it set up, right? What we've done so far is I wanted to use the skill of being able to create of using this Remotion skill. And if you ask me the details of like how this works, I have no clue. And that's the fun part of Claude Code is people are starting to put out skills that you can just use, right? And you can use. And I don't see an export button on here, but you can add an export button. I've done that on the other one. And then you can end up creating videos like this. Like this is the last video that I created. I also created this Claude Code demo. Like this is one that I created with this same skill. And you can literally have it create a terminal. Like look at this. It looks exactly like Claude Code. And now it's going to generate an app. And you can have it create these cool things. And so I want to let's go have fun with this for a bit. I want to create, I don't see, I'm going to open up WhisperFlow real quick. Bro. I want to, first of all, I don't see that, like right now it just says welcome. Please change the scenes in this one so that there's only one scene that says hello world. So like I see the original project, but I don't see the change that I wanted. Let me check what's actually rendering in the app. It sounds like there might be a different component being displayed. Let's see if Claude can figure it out. Okay, there we go. So we refreshed it. Now it says hello world. Now I can say, please, I'm creating a launch video soon for creating agentic apps on vibecode.dev. So we'll make this a real project. I want you to show someone typing into an interface that looks like this, and we can actually like give it a screenshot too. This is cool. This is like a real use case. Maybe we'll just, I want it to be super zoomed in. So maybe we'll copy this. That looks like this. You can just paste in images and give it to the AI. I want the user to type into this, build an agentic app that can create PDFs, search the web, use my email and message, and use my company's Slack. And then I want a screen that shows Claude Code is building your agentic app. Then show the app when it's done. It should look like this. Now, I'm going to go to Manus. Maybe this is, oh yeah, here we go. I'm just going to show this. We'll make something look like Manus. We'll copy this. Okay, this is a long prompt. Make it look like the gray app to the right. Yeah, after gray app after it generates. Okay, so this is a long one. The scenes you create should replace hello world video. Okay, that was a long one. Now what we're going to do is we're going to let Oh, nice. You use Manus AI. Manus is goated, dude. Manus is so much better than Claude Cowork. It's insane. People are talking about Claude Cowork because Claude is hot, and I talk about Claude because Claude is hot. I think Claude Code is very cool, but Manus is basically Claude Cowork running in the cloud, and it's so much better. That's why Meta bought it. Best acquisition ever. Calling it right now the biggest acquisition ever for Meta, besides Instagram, will be Manus. It'll be huge. I don't know. Honestly, I'm not the right person to ask about saving tokens. Like someone said, do you use less tokens when you use slashes instead of writing all the time? I'm lucky enough to work at a company where the company pays for the tokens I use, and I'm a reckless Claude user. And so in terms of token saving, I don't pay that much attention. I'm sorry if that comes off as ignorant. It's just the way it is. So I would love for someone to answer that. Yeah, Corey said, hands down, great move by Meta. Anyone who's used Manus knows it's like really solid at being just a general agent. And our company's taking a lot of inspiration from them in terms of the way their agent works. Very, very good product. Respect it a lot. Yeah, it's expensive. It's expensive too. Yeah, again, ideally you convince your boss, like if you have a job, convince your boss to just have an AI budget and experiment and try and create really useful workflows. I do think it's a little too expensive. Manus is too expensive, but we're going to talk about creating your own Manus in either today, later today, or in a future video. But right now we are focused on don't understand really. I'm using Claude Code and VS Code, so Open Code replaces Claude Code, for example. I'm not quite sure. Using Claude Code and VS Code. Manus AI is also very fast, but a real workhorse. Yeah, it is expensive, and I think it's using Claude on the back end, kind of. Wait, let's see. Okay, so let's see how it did. What the? Okay, so it put the gray app first, and then, okay, so that's what it created with one prompt. And maybe I should have been more specific. So I'm just going to talk to it. Okay, the app I'm typing into should be very zoomed in, and it should look like this image. I want it to look like this image right here. And it should be very big, and it should show typing in. And then when it's loading, it should look like these colors, like this green background. It should look a little bit like this. And then the final result should be a laptop outline. Like it should look like a laptop with a gray screen that says, what can I do for you? You put it first. I don't want it to be first. I want this to show up on a laptop mockup. I'm going to post this live. It might be up in a few days, guys, for those of you who are watching. For those of you who are tuning in, right now we're talking about Remotion. We are literally editing a launch video. We're creating and editing a launch video using Claude Code Skills. We talked about how we have this skills folder, right? .claude folder. We have a skills folder. Then we have a Remotion video folder. And one thing I just realized we can do is we could give it access to an API that lets it like search the internet and download videos. We could give it an image generator. There's a lot of different skills we could give it in parallel with Remotion. If that sounds interesting, should I continue editing this, keep it simple, or should we add more skills that allows Claude Code to generate videos and search Google Images for videos? Let me know what I should do, or should I talk about something else? What app do you use to copy print screens? I don't know what that means. Oh, look at this. It's coming together. These icons are ugly, but we can actually replace more skills, more skills, more skills, more skills, more skills. Okay, guys, guess what we're doing? We're adding more skills. And I don't know how this is going to go. I've never tried this before, but I am having the most fun when I experiment. And so if I run into a loop, or if I run into an embarrassing, error loop, don't judge me. I won't care, but don't judge me. Well, this is looking kind of sick. So we're creating this. Oh, look at that animation in. Look at that. Like it fades in. I don't like this at all. Like I don't like this spinner plus this bot. Like this is ugly. So that's the next thing we're going to fix right here. So I'm going to copy this. This is ugly. Please make it just the Claude Code is building and the horizontal bar for that scene. Please get rid of everything else. But before we do that, let's see what the after the result looks like. Hopefully there's a laptop. Look at that. It looks kind of like a laptop. It has, look at this. It looks like a laptop, and it created this vibecode.dev/myagentic app. Create PDF, create search, send email. And then for the computer screen, laptop screen actually, for the laptop screen, please, can you make that scene have that scene do something else? I want you to type in a prompt that says, do research on the latest about Claude Code, create a PDF, then message that in Slack. Then add a new scene that says, that shows it loading, and then create the Slack UI and have the PDF sent in Slack. Or actually show this on the computer rather. I don't know. You know what? I don't know how to show this. I want you to figure out the best way to show this in the final scene. See, we're just letting Claude Code go to work. You know, we're just having fun. If you're rude, no, I'm not going to be rude to Claude Code. I don't care that it's 4% better. When they take over, they're going to love me. They're going to hate you. You're going to be like, you were rude that whole time. And they're going to be like, dude, you were so nice, Riley, the whole time, dude. You want to come hang out? Like, they're going to build castles with humanoid robots. And because I said please on all my prompts, I'm going to get a DM from Claude 9 Opus saying like, yo, you coming through? And I would be like, yeah, dog. You're going to be like, yeah, dog, come through. Claude 8 Opus is here. I know he's unk, but come through, bro. They're going to love me because I was nice the whole time. Since ChatGPT came out, I always say please. Yes, I am using WhisperFlow. It's goated. WhisperFlow just works. People are like, oh, but you can make your own alternative. I'm like, I don't care. It works for me. It's all reliable. So I use it. Okay, so it's still editing this video. Pretty cool though, right? Like literally we went from nothing. I said, use this Remotion skill, and now we're editing this video. It looks good, right? Like fade in, build an agentic app that creates PDFs, use my email and company Slack. And then now it loads. It fixed this loading scene. Your Claude Code is building your agentic app. Bada boom, bada bing. Now look at this. Laptop comes up. Do research on the latest Claude Code. Message it in Slack. And it hasn't created the final scene yet. We'll let it cook a little bit longer. But I mean, how sick is that? Is this cool to you guys? Huh? Put 1 in the chat if you guys think this is cool. If not, we'll go crazier. Okay, people want more skills, so we're going to give it more skills, regardless of what you answer here. We're going to give it more skills, don't worry. Someone said no videos, please. What does that even mean? You don't want me to create videos? Zoom in, zoom out. Good call. I love that. He said zoom in, zoom out animation. I don't think I've tested that really. Maybe we'll zoom in on the computer. Okay, so we need to... So after it's done, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be compacting the chat because we're still doing like, I want it to remember what we're doing, but we don't want this to get over like 50% really. Like right now we're at 75%. This chat is too long. Claude Code's like, bro, we've been doing this for too long. I need to take a break. And so the break is compacting. So let me test this, then we'll compact, then we'll try a zoom animation, then we'll add some more skills. Sound good? Okay. So this is what we have. Let me make sure we're on the latest one here, 18 seconds. Okay, let's see. Let's check this out. Okay, my agentic app is building. Boom, laptop, do some research on Slack, working on it. That's kind of nice, dude. What? That is crazy. It created a little Slack UI. One thing I don't like. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to free up some space in this chat. I'm going to go /compact. Now it's going to compact this chat. Compacting creates a little summary of your chat and then restarts it, right? It restarts a new chat with a summary so that it doesn't have all of this conversation, right? This conversation is long. And so when you compact it, it's different than clearing. If I said /clear, it would have cleared it without this compaction summary. And then you're basically starting a completely fresh chat. And then it might not even know we're editing this video. Then I would need to be like, hey, by the way, we're editing this video still. Can you make a new scene, right? That's why I wanted to compact it, because in this summary, it's going to be like he was just asking you to create a, and AI is getting better at compacting, which is basically better at creating a summary so that you can continue your chat. I think AI pretty soon, within the next 6 months, will just kind of like auto-compact really well. In fact, with Vibe Code, we auto-compact at 50% automatically in the background. So you never get over like, 50%. Let me see. Okay, yeah. So this is the summary. You can see the full summary. It's still pretty big, but now we have a fresh chat. Now, the changes I want to make are as follows. So I did not like how when it says, I was typing into the Gray app on the laptop, and when I entered the prompt, right? When I entered the prompt, it got rid of the laptop, created a new laptop, and brought it on screen, and it said working on it. I don't want to do that, actually. Instead, I want the laptop to stay there, except once the user presses enter and it goes to the working on it screen, I want it to zoom in on the laptop, keep the laptop stationary or visibly stationary, except zoom the camera in on the laptop when it says working on it. And then once it's done, actually, yeah, stay zoomed in once it's done and zoom in on the right part of the chat in this Slack UI and show that the message was sent in this zoomed in fashion. Okay. Goodbye, the my Colossus. I'll see you later. I wish I could give you tokens. I'm sorry. Yes, I will make this repo available. I'm trying to think. Yeah, there's no sensitive keys in this. I will make this repo available, and I will show that process in just a second. You've used the zoom in, zoom out enough Remotion. I'm going to keep adding skills in Remotion. I'm just going to kindly invite people to leave if you don't like what we're doing. I feel like a lot of the people are going to be excited about creating more skills and adding it to Remotion. I find it to be quite interesting right now. and I think it will allow us to touch on all of the important topics. So amazing. We're going to do more skills. I just wanted to get this base layer like video. Like we could use parts of this video. This is kind of good. Especially with music. And so that's the part that I haven't. Has anyone experimented with Remotion and added like sound effects? That is where this gets really interesting. Like if you could algorithmically trigger sound effects, like one thing I want to do is like add like a mouse. And so in this scene right here, to like add a big mouse going up and pressing enter and like adding a click noise, that'd be sick. To add like whooshes. So like when this is coming up, like as you type it out, it should have a typing keyboard. As it's loading, it could like go like, that'd be kind of sick. But anyway, let's go ahead and give this a test here. Okay, let's see if this stays in place. Oh, wow. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Oh, that's kind of weird. Okay. So, yeah, what did it do? Working on it, and then it like, wait. Okay, that's a little bit weird. But what I want to do, I'll let my perfectionism, I'll put it to the side for a second. What I want to do is I want to first give it the ability to, let's first give it the ability to like get Google Images. I don't know if anyone's done this yet, and that sounds kind of fun. So I'm going to go to SERP. API.com. SERP API is currently being sued by Google because I found that out, unfortunately. But it's still up for now. And so I'm going to use it. And so I'm going to do this off screen. I'm going to get my API key off screen just because I need to do that. So I'm signing into SERP API. And I'm going to explain what I'm doing in more detail. Let me sign in real quick. OK, I got my API key. Let's go ahead and, okay, let's talk about what we're about to do for a couple minutes. And okay, so right now we're using Claude Code. And so this is just like Claude, like we're messaging Claude Code. And Claude Code has a skill. And so this skill is this skill called Remotion, right? It's a skill called Remotion, and this this basically allows it to like create animated videos. It's like you can create videos with code, and Claude is really good at generating code, so that gives it the power of creating videos. The next skill that we're about to add is a skill that I'm going to call, we'll call this Google Images skill. And so this will allow it to search Google Images and add to the video. And so what we want to think about when we add this skill, when we ask Claude Code to create a new skill. So when asking Claude Code to create new skill, you want to answer these things. Like what do you want it to do? What do you want it to do? And then a really important one is when do you want it to do it? That is very important. Right? These are the two important things when creating a skill. Right? These two things. And so let's go ahead and answer this. So what do you want it to do? I want this skill when the user asks for a video, when the user says to use Google Images, use the SERP API to get Google Images on whatever topic the video is on, or whatever asset you need. When do you want to, oh, this would be when what do you want it to do? This skill, search Google Images, find relevant images to place in the video, and make the video better. This, I don't even know if this is good. Okay, so we're adding this skill. I'm just going to copy this because you can give Claude Code images. So I'm just going to copy this. And now what we're going to do is I'm just going to create a new chat here. And I'm going to say, I want to create a new skill that uses the SERP API. Please, can you set this up? I'm going to paste this image. Here are some notes. Carefully look at the Remotion video editor skill so that you know how to set this up properly, because I want this to be used in tandem, you know? Like when the user asks for like images of real people, you can search the internet, find images and place them into the video. And this will be really fun to use. And I want you to set up this skill so that they're kind of used in tandem. So search Claude skills and figure out how these can be used together. Whether or not they should be paired into one skill, I'm not quite sure yet. I don't think so. But please set this up optimally so that when the user asks you to use Google Images, you can get Google Images. And what I want you to do is I want you to set up the environment variables in such a way and put a placeholder for the API key, and I'll place it there. And just let me know where it is, and I'll put my API key there. Okay. Yeah, someone said okay, while that's loading, sorry guys, we're jumping around. Claude Code is very ADHD driven because now that the agent is working, right? Like the agent is working. So I'm going to put this over here a little bit. And now I'm going to go to this one right here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to say yes to allow. What I want to do real quick is I'm going to go to GitHub. I need to go on comment. All right, I'm going to go to GitHub real quick. And I'm going to create a new repository. This new repository is going to be called Claude Code Info. So at the beginning of this live stream, we created this little landing page somewhere. I forget where it is. Info on Claude Code. And I'm going to just create this repository, choose an owner, go Riley, just create repository. Now I'm just going to copy this link, and that's all we need on now we can open up Cursor. Yes. On Cursor, I just use Cursor built in Sonnet 4.5 because it just kind of it understands how to use GitHub really well, and I've used it for a really long time. I'm going to say, I just created this repo. Can you please push it to GitHub? Sorry, GitHub. I already created the repo. Can you please then put it on Vercel so I can get a link I can share with all of the info. And then I'll paste that link. And now it should basically be able to go through that whole process. It's still creating skills, still creating a skill. And then we're going to give it a nano banana skill in just a second. Don't worry. Okay, so now here it created this env file, and here it says SERP API key. I'm going to go ahead and move this off the screen. I'm going to put my API key here. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll hit save. Let's get off this. Real quick, one sec. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and put these on separate desktops now. We can rotate through them. But this one should be on the internet. Vercel deployment. So it literally put it on GitHub, and then it put it on Vercel. Wait, where's the link? It should have given me a link. What is the Vercel link? Public link. Why didn't it give it to me? Here it is. Let's see. There it is. Okay, we have it on the internet. I will share it in the chat. This link right here will be able to take it. Yeah, I'm going on steroids. Yeah, I don't even, I just have some like hacky ways to do stuff, but that's how we got it on the internet. You just say, put it on GitHub, then put it on Vercel, and it's that easy. Once you do it once, then you can just do it every time. Anyway, okay, let's go back to what we were doing before. What were we doing before? We were talking about, we just added a new skill. We just added a new skill. Now we have 2 skills. Google Images skill. Okay, I'll zoom in here. Don't worry. Don't worry. Access required. Ah. I see. I see. Good call. Good call. What is the public URL? This one is access. I'm just going to say push it to prod. Okay, I'm going to come back to that in just a second. Let's go ahead and test this skill. Okay, so now I'm just going to be very explicit with this now. I'm not going to like, I just want to see if this works. So I want you to please show the different videos which have multiple scenes in the UI in a dropdown. So the current video that we've just created, which is like this launch video, I want it to be video 1 in this dropdown, and then I want to be able to ask. I want to be able to ask you to create a dropdown, like another video in the dropdown, so that I can create a new video without changing the current video. And then in this new video, I want you to make the first scene of this new video, this next new video that you create that I can select in the UI of just Sam Altman, a photo of Sam Altman. So use the Remotion video skill and the Google Images skill to create one single photo of Sam Altman and animate it in some way. All right, now we're testing the skill, right? Sorry, we are hopping around. So we're adding this Google Images skill. So we already have the Remotion skill. This one is locked in. We'll make it green. This one will be blue because we're testing it right now. We're in the testing phase. This one should allow us to search Google Images. The Claude Code agent should be able to search the image, search Google Images, grab the image, download it, and place it in the video, and it should be able to use it in tandem with this skill right here. That's what I'm going for. We're just going to see what works. It might not work. There's a good chance it won't work. Standard protection. Okay, wait, let me see. File, new incognito window. There we go. Okay, this one works. For those of you who want to get set up with Claude Code, that link should work. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. It's Sam Altman, CEO, OpenAI portrait headshot. Okay, let's see. Oh, wow. Okay, I think this is going to work. This is going to work. So you can see here, it's like looking up. Oh, no. Okay, it's using the SERP images tool. I found some good Sam Altman photos. Let me download the Wikipedia one. Good for portrait. And then create the video structure with the dropdown. Okay, this is a big prompt, but I think it's going to work. What I want, right, because right now we have this ability to create videos. What I want is, first of all, is there to be some like drop down to like separate the videos. Each video is made up of scenes. And then I want to be able to create a new video. And when I ask to add a person to the video, I want it to be able to just search the internet itself. I don't want to have to go to the Google Images, find a video of Sam Altman, paste it in. I want it to just do it on my behalf. And that's what we're adding. That's going to be kind of fun. Okay. Oh, I can refer to skill files with @. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Nice. Shout out to I am Ricardo. Super useful. I am Ricky Ricardo. I did not even think of, like, sometimes I just use Whisperflow. So I'm like, use the Google Images skill. But since all of the skills are stored in a folder, you can @mention folders. And so I can just type in Google Images, and then we can just reference the skill exactly so that we can tell Claude Code to use that skill. That is dope. Shout out. Riley's boss is going to be pissed when he sees the bill from Anthropic. Fun fact, I am the boss of my company. I have one co-founder. And I will let you know that our Anthropic bill is 7 figures this month. So they won't even notice. So yeah, and that's not a flex. That is me saying it in disgust, if I'm being honest. But it is the way it is. We're trying to create the best vibe coding tool. But yeah. Yeah, ideally you find a boss who, when you show them how much money you're saving them, like you just have to like, I wish tokens weren't this expensive. It sucks. It really sucks. Because if this was like 20 times cheaper than it is, which it could get there, it would be so much fun. Everyone would just be flinging shit around, be awesome. Make sure you're making it back. We are actually profitable. Close to. Okay. I'm not allowed to say how much revenue our product does, but I think by the end of next year, or by the end of this year, it could be the biggest vibe coding tool. We're much newer, but I believe that in my heart. It's good. It's very good. What was I doing? Where am I? Oh, I'm on this one. Okay. So let's see. So remember what we asked for. We asked for a drop down. Here it is. So Sam Altman video. Now we asked it to find a photo of Sam Altman. Let's see if it did it. Come on. Fingers crossed. Let's go. Come on. Let's see if we one-shotted this skill. Let's go. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, so now I love this. Please add. Oh, wait. Okay, guys, check this out. Check this out. We're at 91%. We need to compact. So we can just click to compact. And 91%. Don't get to 91%. This is sick, though. We asked for it to create a Remotion video using the Remotion skill, right? And then we added this Google Images skill using the SERP API. And it went out and it found this photo of Sam Altman and then added it to the video, that it now has this video skill. And you can see this process, right? This is cool. You can see how excited I am because we are getting an agent to do a thing with a skill, right? Humans have skills, right? Computers are supposed to be this like deterministic thing, but you can ask it to have skills, and it just has a skill. And now it's merging these two skills together. And so we can keep going with this. We could give it an icon skill, right, where we give it access to libraries to a ton of icons. We could give it an animation skill. Maybe these are really basic animations, but maybe all it takes is just to get someone really good at animation to like write up the different types of animations you can do, right? And what's cool about this is what I call an agentic app, where previously software was like you deployed this like app that you could then send a link to someone else and they could use it, and it's meant for humans to use. But in this case, this is a React app, if I'm not mistaken. But Claude Code is kind of using this. But I can also use it, right? And so instead of it being like a static app for just me to use, it's basically just like a workspace for the agent. And that's why I call it an agent workspace. And this is one thing that I'm super excited about, because we were considering, because since you can run Claude Code in the web, like that's all this is. And so within the next like week, we're going to be able to make templates. So you'll be able to create these little agent workspaces and share them with other people as templates. And not only can like static apps be turned into templates, but you can actually make all of the skills that are stored in your projects templates as well. And the way that people are sharing them now is GitHub. I personally don't like GitHub. It's all about code. I don't give a shit about code. I like the app, the agent workspace. I don't think vibe coders think about the code ever. Remotion is eating the context window. Yeah, bro, it is. It's eating. It's eating. And that's why I hope one of these cheaper models get good at Remotion. I definitely think that that'll happen within the next few months. And that's why I think it's good to learn now. OK, so it's compacted. This is awesome. Please add all of the CEOs of the major AI labs, like Elon Musk, Dario Amodei. But in between them, I want you to have a cool animation where it makes the big image that you have here go smaller into the top left corner. And then I want you to list out information about each of these CEOs. And yeah, get all of their images using the Google Images skill and make this, don't do more than 5. OK, so this one's going to take a little bit. You can use agents to write code to create skills. Write code. I am. In business, it's not what you spend, it's what you can make with them tokens. Yes, agreed. Business is about money. But it's also about building something that people love. And you can build something people love and lose a little bit of money in the beginning, and then try and figure out a way to make it profitable later. And I think in order to do that in AI, that's kind of, if you want to be on the edge of what's possible, you kind of have to be losing a little bit of money in the beginning. Have I used ClaudeBot? I have not used ClaudeBot, and that's one of those things that I'm going to need a full day to. Where's Riley's link? I got you. I got you. I got you. Wait, did that work? Okay, yeah. What was I talking about? Oh, I didn't know I could even do this. I don't want to do that right now. Yeah, so ClaudeBot is basically like imagine if you ran Claude Code on a computer. Some people are running it in the cloud, which is just like a virtual computer, and like you can text it and you can send Slack messages to it. You could also set it up to WhatsApp, and it's really fun. Riley, you using many apps to optimize your work. Can you please, after or in the emails, go over what you use to optimize my work? What do you? I mean, I have a lot of software that I use, but I use a lot of marketing tools, and I don't know if that's in the scope of this video. I can go over the tools I've built that I use every day. ClaudeBot was the one that I was working on 3 weeks ago, and it has no issues with auth. Can you explain this a little bit more? It has no issues with auth. What do you mean by this? Recursive language models, is this the future? I don't know. I don't really pay attention to that. Yes, I'm on Cursor right now. Hey, can we put some product pics and make ads with advertising videos? Oh, yeah, we could do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and give this a refresh maybe. So now it's 35 seconds. Let's see if this works. So it added Sam Altman, Elon Musk, Dario Amadai. Let's see. So here's Sam Altman. Cool. Now it should do Elon Musk. There he is. Kind of cool. It's using this Google Images skills. So it's going off, finding image of these people, adding them. Pretty fun. Should we do another skill? What skill should I add on top of this? Wait, what? Can you use the Chrome extension in action where it generates like Supabase tables? We don't use Supabase. Supabase is overrated. And yeah, I don't know if I want to talk about the Chrome extension. That's a whole different can of worms. Can it take images from Google and turn it into a short clip or GIF? I'm sure it could. I mean, we could export this to an MP4 and then or convert this whole thing into a GIF. I'm sure. We could do that. Yes, someone said there will be a replay. I'm just going to leave this up on Google or on YouTube. One thing I want to do, let's go ahead. Let me see here. What else should we do? Oh, yeah. Geez, this ate all of the context. That's freaking insane. Didn't we already compact? That is actually wild. Oh, I see what's happening. I think these images are clouding the context because images are way bigger. That's what's eating the context. Okay. Ooh, sound? How do we do that? What would be the best way to add a skill that gives the video sound? I want there to be sound effects. Is there an open source sound library that we could use that would allow you to add sounds for like typing, clicks, etc.? I mean, since I spend most of my time, so he said, do you use InstantDB? I think InstantDB is a good database to use when you're just starting out if you want to use Claude Code, especially if you want to create like a real-time like video game. I found it to be the best for real-time video games. So if you have like characters in different positions and they're moving around the map, or if you want to create some like Canvas app where there's like literal like people, like real-time multiplayer apps, InstantDB is really good. And so, yeah, that's when I use InstantDB. We just built our own DB into Vibe Code. It uses Postgres, and it's pretty simple. And it's agents are really good at it. And we're going to kind of build that out over time. We want to create like the best database for Vibe coders. We think Supabase is too overcomplicated and you can't do a lot of cool things. But I'm not going to get into that. I don't want to talk negative about Supabase. A lot of people use it. I think you should use whatever works for you guys. Okay, so best open source sound libraries. Okay, cool. Can you create a skill that has access to like 3 of these? And would you be able to download them directly from the skill? So if that answer is yes, create the skill right now. I want you to create the skill that allows you to download sound effects and place them in the video. Also is, yeah, I hope that's possible with this. I hope we can add sound. If we can't add sound, don't do this. Just let me know and we'll figure out a new way to do it. Guys, we'll be back in 1 minute. Yes, allow. Convex, Supabase. Yeah, I do like convex. I haven't tried it enough. I've just been obsessed with. So someone wants to do nano banana. Okay, we can do nano banana. Okay. I'm going to get my API key for nano banana. Do, 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 do. Riley left the building before clicking yes. Yes. I've tried Riley. Riley. Someone summarize this. Opinion, a lot of great info here, but so far, anyone looking to know what to do after this? Compact often, skills, SERP API, learn Remotion, and ClaudeBot. It's a good summary. What is the app you use to screen share everyone has? I have like 4 tools that I use for screen sharing. I can get into those later. What is the app? Okay, online. Yeah, next time I will have someone live in the chat explaining everything in real time. That's probably a really good idea. 100%. Thank you, Holland TV. Super useful. The animations aren't smooth. Yeah, I see. I don't know enough about animations to create a skill. I hope someone adds. That's the cool part about this is I guarantee you someone's going to add a skill, like create one that's public, and I'll just use that. 11 lab skill. That's pretty good. Oh my God, hurry up, Jerry. All right, so we have a sound effects skill folder. All right, if we go to our yeah, so now we added this Google Images skill. That one's up and running. And we're going to add a new skill. And this skill should be blue because we haven't done it yet. We are adding a sound effects skill. And this will actually just use open libraries. I was thinking about doing 11 labs, which are generate skills, but maybe I could. Maybe I could do it, actually. I just don't know how it would like test them. Like I just noticed the success rate on these skills or on the sound effects on 11 labs aren't that good yet. Where do you find the public skills created by others? I found them on x.com, Twitter. Twitter is the best place to find skills, in my opinion. People are just constantly posting them on X, and I'm just like, yes, let's try that. Okay, yes. I'm still kind of like low-key hyped on this one. What the heck? Pocket text-to-speech or Quen text-to-speech skill and not 11. I don't want voice. What the heck? Oh. We can come back to that later. Does Claude Code know Unity on its own, or do we need a skill? Like Unity, like the game engine? I think you could make a skill that allows it to use wait, some images. What is Moondream-esque skill? GSAP have smooth animations. Oh my God, this is taking so long. Let me also get a success notification sound. Can we see this? No. Oh, let's see. Let's see what happens if we open this in a browser. Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear. Oh, you guys aren't going to be able to hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear this. Can you guys hear that? But the sound effect did work. So it does look like it is finding these sound effects online. It's just taking forever, like, bruh. Okay, so it added the skill.md. It says, okay, so this is improper formatting. See, I told you it does this. This is the correct formatting. This is the correct formatting. This is the correct formatting. This is not the correct formatting. See, you gotta keep it in. You gotta keep a close eye. Notice the sound effect skill is not the correct format at the top. The other two are with name and description. Please fix. Right? Your skills need to have a name, your Google Images name, and it needs to have these like 3 lines above it, kind of, and description, or else Claude won't read it correctly. Unless that's wrong now. I know that that was true at first. You need the create skill. I know, I do. I can ask it to do that. We have that automatically baked into, so like, for instance, I think I was telling you, I don't know if I told you this the other day, tech friend, I'll call you by your online name, but if you create a web app, by default on Vibecode, by default, it comes with the skill creator skill. I've not. Can you share your skill builder skill? Yes, I can show that right now. Oh yeah, I need to create a project. Hi. Yes, this is the skill builder skill. And it's here, skills, skill creator, skill. Name, skill creator, description, guide for creating effective skills. This skill should be used when users want to create a new skill. I can probably just like, I don't know how to share this. I suppose I could just download the code. Sent to my email. Darn. Yo, Ross Mike is here. Let's go. Dude, Mickey, I loved your video that you did with Greg recently on Claude Code. That was fire. As always. I don't even need to tell you because all your videos are fire. Oh my God. Guys, I'm sorry. I screwed up. I just exposed an API key. Red alert. I got distracted by Mickey in the chat. Then I exposed my API key. I got to cancel it. API key. Oh no. How do I do it? Hold on. I exposed my API key. No. How? Manage API key. Regenerate. Okay. We're good. I'm going to close out of that. Crisis averted. I do that often. Okay, where was I? Yeah, so this is the skill creator skill. I will, at the end of this video or in the description, I will include a repo link that has the skill creator skill. I don't think it's going to be any different than if you were to go to Claude right now and be like, hey, find the best skill-creator skill or skill builder skill, and that will allow you to add it. So enough of that. I'm going to move on to the next thing. What was I talking about? I was talking about the fact that, okay, so now we should have this sound effect skill. To catch those who are new to this live stream, what we've done is we're using the Remotion video skill, and we were able to create a video that looks like this. This is like a little mini launch video that we created in Claude Code, right? Or Claude Code is using this skill, and it can create this like clean video. It can even create like an outline of a computer. It can sort of zoom in. Yeah, and then this was off the screen. We only spent like 3 or 4 prompts on this. That's why it doesn't look that amazing. Then we added a new skill, which was the skill of using the SERP API for Google Images. Here it can download images off the internet and place them into the app. Now, I actually have a question for you guys. Whenever it uses this skill, I'm pretty sure it like downloads a ton of skills from the internet, and that's what causes the context to go over 100% every time. I wonder if there's a way to do this. Maybe it's sub-agents. I'm not sure. But it's, for whatever reason, it's really clouding the images. Law, I'm sure nobody will try and use your key. Yeah, I don't know either. But then again, all it takes is one person. And so yeah, we added this skill. Now, what we're testing right now is, can it use the sound effects skill, which will automatically look in these libraries of sound effects and add them to the video. So now we need to test that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to actually, let's clear the chat so we can actually use the skill. So I'm just going to go clear conversation. Now I'm going to say, okay, can you please add another video? And notice how we add these videos. Right now there's 2 videos, one called AI CEO's video, and then another one called Vibe Code Launch video. I want you to add a 3rd video, and this should be a lot like the Vibe Code Launch video, except just have one scene where I type into that prompt in the same way that it looks. As I'm typing, I want to hear keyboard clicks, and then I want a mouse to come on the screen, and I want it to look like it presses enter, but I want sound effects for this. Please use, right now we're going to be explicit about the skills just because I don't, like we're trying to test them. So I'm going to say, please use the sound effect skill and the Remotion. It would probably know to use the Remotion skill, but we're just going to be explicit. Please create new video. Okay, now we're running it. Now we are testing the sound effects skill, and we're going to see if it works. So I hope it works. We will see. Riley, make sure that those sound effects or whatnot are copyright free. Yeah, I'm not going to do that now. Oh yeah, I guess it could affect the stream. It could get taken down if they're not copyright free. I don't know. We're going to roll the dice. It's okay. If it gets taken down, it's all right. I'll post it on Twitter. So when it uses the internet, does it require the Chrome extension for that, or is it baked into Claude Code? That's a good question. So Claude Code has a web search tool baked into it, and for that, it just scrapes the internet, as far as I know, unless someone knows. Someone else could probably give you a better description, but you do not need any Chrome extension. It can just like search the internet, and they're getting so much better every single month, basically. The ability to just kind of scour the internet and find relevant information. It's getting faster, better, etc. So I would expect that to continue to get better. But yeah, you don't need a Chrome extension. Chrome extensions are good when you like need to go to a page that like requires authentication, or like if you need to go to my LinkedIn or to like post something from my LinkedIn. However, if you guys want to grow on social media, I don't recommend using these types of tools to post, just because increasingly over time, companies are not going to want you to post via these external tools, and they'll like demote your account. Posting via APIs is pretty dangerous on social media. And that's why I always post directly through the platform, not through any like post bridge or some other service, because I don't want these accounts thinking I'm a bot, right? I want them to think that I'm a human. Okay, I think we're almost done. There we go. Let's go ahead and refresh this. Let's go to prompt demo video. We have a new one. So prompt demo video, 6 seconds. Let's see. It did it. I don't know if you guys could hear it. So first of all, the mouse it did not hit enter. Like it just missed. But it does make this noise. Can you guys hear this? Wow, it is cool that it can do it on command. This is pretty sick. Okay, the mouse did not hit the enter button. Also, make it bigger. There was no typing sound either. I only heard the button for enter. So we got the skill to work. It doesn't work great. And oh yeah, Typefully. I do use Typefully for certain types of posts, but I mostly don't use Typefully. Typefully, I think, is fine for now. I would just say I prefer not to. Whenever I don't have to, I won't. Only reason I use Typefully are for posts that have like an auto DM feature. I just use it for auto DMing. But I have been getting rate limited, so maybe I'll switch off of that. Thoughts on Claude Bot, and separately thought on Ralph Loop. I need to dive into both of those a little bit more. Yeah, I've tried the Ralph Loop a little bit. I always don't have enough time, or like maybe I just don't comprehend it well. Maybe I need to get someone to come on the podcast to just set it up. I'm not a software engineer, so like I don't really know what to do with it yet. But I will be digging into that a little bit more in a few months. In terms of Claude Bot, I think it's awesome. I will make a dedicated video to that. I want to make an untechnical version of the Claude Bot video, and I want it to be really good. And I want to show people exactly how to set it up. You need to ask Claude to scroll the internet. It's not automatic. Wait, oh no, what happened? Here we go. Okay, let's see if this works. I'm going to refresh. We are going to go to prompt demo video. There we go. I heard a little. Okay, I want the noise for the keyboard to be a continuous noise. I hear it at the beginning when I start typing, but then I want it to be as long as that animation, like it actually sound like typing, you know? That's what I want. Sound design is really hard. I always give my editor really just props on how he can make sound effects so well. Like it just adds so much to the video. I would love for it to get to this point, right? Like go back to Twitter. Like this sound effects in this video are great. Like it's got this nice sound, and then there's like a sound effect when it goes around this. A nice click sound, a great typing sound. Like sound effects are so important. Music and sound effects are so important to these videos that like if we could figure out a skill, like I will pay someone money to find a good skill for sound effects. That would be insane. Let's see if this works now. I'm going to give this a refresh. We asked it to make it a little bit better. Let's see. Can you guys hear that? We added this sound effect skill. You know, this did take us 3 prompts, but like, can you guys hear this? I mean, that's not so bad. Please export this video right now. How many tokens you've burned at the end of this stream? How do I even do that? Cost? Wait. Oh, whoops. You can hear it. Yes, can hear typing. That's good. I like this. This is actually not bad. Okay. Now I want you to create a skill for 11 Labs for music and sound effects. And I'm going to get my API key. Please put the API key as a placeholder in the end file. I will put my key there, search 11 Labs, and make this skill for sound effects, music, and voice. This should be one skill, a new skill, make it the proper formatting. Yeah, I use Arc. I'm transitioning back from Comet to Arc. I switched to Comet because I was a little bit of a believer in the AI browsers, and I just hate the AI browsers. I love Arc. Arc is my favorite, but I'm like not signed into everything. So now I'm kind of in the middle. I'm using 2, and I'm not a fan of the AI browsers. I will not be switching. I'm much more interested in tools that like, I don't know. I don't find browsing to be a negative thing for me. I don't need an AI assisted browsing. I never find it useful. And plus you can get the browser extension, the Claude browser extension now. So maybe I'll just switch back to Chrome. Okay. Oh, that's fire. Fire. Dude, that's kind of sick. Are we going to see this today? Claude Code for web app development, Claude Code for mobile app development? Yeah, we can get into it. My microphone is going to die, and I only have one. I need to figure out how I'm going to do this. Let me see. Plugins are better than AI browsers. I don't disagree with you. Let me see. Yes. Commit next to vibe coding. I asked to comment on my screen design and get recommendation. Commit. Maybe we should move on. Maybe we're bored of this. Are we bored of creating videos? I'm just trying to add too many skills. Maybe I'll just kind of like do this later. Maybe we can move on to something new. What else was I going to talk about? Obviously I'm biased. But so like if we were going to create apps that are web apps and mobile apps, you know, the main reason our company exists is we made creating mobile apps with Claude Code like incredibly easy. And so you can create mobile apps. Maybe I could create an app with Swift. It's just the app store process is so annoying when you use Swift. Can you have a 10-minute break? Oh, we could do. Okay, so I want to show you this tool that I think it might have broke, but I built Manus with Claude Code. Let me show you this real quick. Using custom data to make things that can you import web apps from another vibe coder to your vibe coder, easy launch to iOS App Store. we should make this a lot easier. There's just so many things that we've added. We added the ability to create web apps, which was a whole endeavor of its own. And what we're going to do, enter your email to sign in. Let me see if this is the right one. Riley. Let me see here. So I added authentication to this as well. Let me see. Let me get my email. Tasks AI 390951. So what's really cool about this, so we have all of our tasks. This looks a lot like Manus. So I can say, please, can you search the internet and then and look up Claude bot and then write a paragraph and message the team in Slack about it. And so what this is I'm actually using the Claude SDK for this. And so this is the Claude SDK, Claude Agent SDK, which allows you to add agents very similar to Claude Code to your applications. And so I'll search for information about ClaudeBot. Let me see if it messaged in Slack. But I created this in just a few prompts. Monologue, Riley. Look at this. So, and don't ask why I did it, but this guy, Rick Mopel, it's 2:37. He just messaged 1 minute ago. He has access to Slack. It's one of the skills that Claude Agent SDK has access to. So this Claude Agents SDK operates, and it actually is run in the root. So it can actually use all of the same skills that Claude Code, the same agent that builds the app that you're creating, has access to these skills. The Claude Agent SDK also has skills. And what's weird about the Claude SDK is I'm going to say, please change what can I do for you on the main page to say, what's up? I'm Manus. Edit the code. I don't know if this will work, but I'm pretty sure. Okay, maybe it can't. Maybe it can't. You can create it so that the Agent SDK can literally edit the code in your sandbox, but it's not on this one. But anyway, let's create an agent with Claude SDK. Let's just do that. I think that sounds really fun. And maybe we could just create a better version of Manus. And actually, if I remember correctly, I created a prompt yesterday. I was preparing for whether or not we wanted to use the Claude SDK for this. Actually, I think it's in docs. And I believe it's in here. Yes. Okay. So I kind of did some thinking. And so the Claude SDK allows you to build the cursor for X. Wait, mobile app development. Seems like Claude doesn't have a good template to get going. It will support Android very soon. Cole, I don't want to get off topic here. Actually, okay, let's take a 3-minute break. What should we cover? Should we talk about the 3 things that we can talk about right now? The 3 things that we could talk about right now. Or there's many things that we could talk about. Just, you guys can list them. I will list a few ideas. One is Claude SDK, Claude Agent SDK, which is like building your own app, building your own cursor for blank, or Claude Code for blank, like agentic apps. We could also talk about web apps, building web apps. We could talk about building mobile apps or something else. 1, 2, 3, or 4. And if you choose 4, suggest something else. Okay, we are at Okay, so we're at 7 votes SDK. 2 votes web apps, or maybe 6 votes SDK, 2 votes web apps, mobile apps, build your agentic apps, that's SDK, 3, 3, 3, okay, mobile apps, someone says Gastown. I'm not doing a Gastown video. Uh-oh. Okay, I think, dang, okay, so we have some mobile apps, some agentic apps. So it's between these two right here. 1 and 3. Only vote for 1 and 3 now. Okay, so I'm going to build an app using the Claude Agents SDK. That's what I'm going to do. And what we can do with this is we can make a mobile app that connects to this app. That's what we'll do. We'll do both, but we need to start with the Claude Agent SDK. So what I want to talk about is, okay, so this is kind of a reset. We are talking about the Claude Agent SDK. What is the Claude Agent SDK? The Claude Agent SDK lets you build autonomous AI agents, apps that don't just chat, but they can actually do things for your users. And I think of it kind of like creating the Claude Code for X. You know, like you have a side panel, and then that agent can like take actions. You can give it skills, as we were talking about in the live stream. Think of it like giving Claude a computer, hands, the ability to work independently. Instead of just answering questions, your app can read files, write code, search the web, run commands, and complete entire projects on its own. And so the real example is Manus, which is one of my favorite like general agent tools. And Manus can just do a lot of things. You can ask it to create a slide deck. It'll do it. You can ask it to create a document. It can do it. And so what we can do right now is, I think the best thing that we can do is, I think what would be cool is to create Manus. And we can add whatever tools we want to this. Like you can give it access to Nano Banana. You can give it access to give it the ability to create slide decks as if it was a tool like Gamma, but that could just be one of the features to create slide decks. You could do a ton of different things. You can tell it to search the internet. You can tell it to interact with Notion, Slack, et cetera, et cetera. Yes, I can do that in just a second. In just a second, Nadim, I will do that. So, tools. So the same with Claude Code. If you guys have been watching the live stream all day, you know that Claude Code comes with a lot of built-in tools. It can read files, it can write files and edit files. That's how it edits code. It can run bash commands, right? It can run code commands in the terminal. It can do web search, web fetch. One thing that it can also do, I don't see it listed here, is like you can toggle on and off ask user questions. And so that actually, I think, let's center this experience around this. So if you've used Claude Code, it'll actually ask you questions. You know, like you say, I want Cowork does this. And this is also another way to think about this is build your own Cowork. Oh yeah, I have to go to the Claude. I have to go to, you can think of what we're doing right now, this exercise that we are doing where we're creating this agent, we're building our own Claude Cowork. I don't know why it's not letting me move it. Okay, here we go. Claude Cowork was released the other day, got so much hype, and I still feel like no one uses it. But you can like create a new task, and you can say, make a content video. Actually, maybe we should just clone this. Let's do that, actually. Let's clone Cowork, except make it better and make it our own. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. And I'm going to say, make a content video. And it'll actually ask you follow-up questions. This is one of the things that the Claude Agent SDK can do, right? I didn't give it enough context. It doesn't really know what to do, right? But it might ask me a follow-up question. Or it'll be annoying and like timeout because Claude does this on the desktop app. I'm getting bored. What are you doing? Bruh. Come on, Claude. I have a lot of problems with their desktop app. Not gonna lie. Like, it just never does anything. What are we doing here? All right, never mind. Screw Claude. Like, really, I have Great internet. What's going on here? God damn it. Okay. So let's go ahead and go back to our document. I believe it's here. We can do ask user questions. This is where the agent will ask for more context from the user, which is super useful. It can be multiple choice or free response. And I find these to be really useful because it allows the agent to like get more relevant information. Kind of reverse prompt engineering. Almost the agent is prompting the human so that it can do better stuff, which I think is a really useful thing, right? So we'll add that. And then it can also have whatever model you want to give it. So we want to give it Opus. And so with that in mind, we can use a prompt like this. We can give the prompt like this. Build me an app called Manus. It will work like an autonomous assistant. The app should. Core features, a clean interface where users can give a task to an agent. The agent works autonomously to complete the tasks without constant guidance, shows working panel that displays what the agent is doing in real time, lets users see files, et cetera, et cetera. And then here it has web search, web fetch, notebook edit, to do right. I don't know what notebook edit is, but I'm down. Bypass permissions, good. Allow dangerously skip permissions is true. We weren't doing that before when we were using Claude, so we're going to do that. That's where it won't ask me if I want to allow it to do it. And here we can give it a max thinking tokens of 16,000. I believe that's the maximum. And this system prompt is provided separately. I'll give you that next. And then I'm not going to do the UI requirements. I want this to look more like Claude. And so I'm going to create a new web app on vibecode.dev. I believe it's the easiest way to do it because one thing, the Anthropic API is built into this APIs tab. So you're going to just, it'll work without having to give it an API key. Actually, I'm not sure if that's public feature yet. I'll show you how to add an API key if that's not true. But this is a feature we're releasing soon. We're going to make this a lot easier to create. You're going to be able to build your own agent in minutes. But anyway, I'm going to paste this prompt right here. I want to use the Anthropic API for the agent SDK. Please look it up and figure out how to make this amazing. Now, let me go back here. I'm actually just going to, I'm going to copy this again. Okay. I'm going to give it this image. Look at this image, but ignore the right panel for now. This should work with DB, like create the Prisma database and use the agent SDK. Everything should be stored in the DB. Make the appearance look like the image. Okay. This is a pretty decent prompt here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to open up one thing off camera. Yeah, and so here we see that Claude Code is working. This will take, I bet you this takes 10 minutes. I'm not going to lie. This is a really, really hard thing to set up. It's going to configure the agent SDK. It needs to figure out how to set that up. It needs to, like, there's a lot that it has to do here. So I'll find a way to make it entertaining in the meantime. First of all, I need to get API keys. Let's create a new API key. And all right, so I'm adding an API key. I'm going to copy the key. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. You can go to the env variables tab, and go to the back end, right? There's a front end and a back end. When you deploy it, it deploys the front end and the back end to keep your app secure. We can add a variable in the front end, or in the key, we're going to put Anthropic underscore API underscore key. And then here, we're going to paste our key. Do that. Here, add. Okay, I've added the key. Let me just make sure that it's in there. Yep, it's there. So I can add this to the prompt really easily if I ever want to reference it. But yeah, basically, it has a lot to do. And it might even create another to-do list after this to do it. So this will be a while. So I'll just answer questions for a bit. And yes, this, yeah, you can connect it to Supabase. You can host it in Europe. You can do whatever you want. Just tell the agent to use only $781 of credit. You gonna make it? Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll spend like 20 bucks on this project, maybe 10. I mean, this is a big project. Depends on how long we work on it. I don't know. All right, I have one problem, guys. My microphone, so this microphone is going to die in the next like 10 minutes. And this one, for whatever reason, won't connect. Hear me? My microphone probably just got worse, and that's because it died. I don't know how to set it up, but can you guys, like, is this fine or is it worse? Let me know in the chat. Bad, good, mid. Hello. How bad is the audio? It's my built-in microphone. Someone said, I don't want to make another one of the things everyone else is making. I want something that handles my own data in a specific method. Then do it. Like, how can I help you with that if you want to build something of your specific data? Online existence. Like, how can I help you do that? I would love to know. Try some ASMR. It's fine. I know it's mid. It's my computer. I can try and reconnect the other audio, but you know what? We're not going for quality, insane quality here. How do you handle long-lived context or institutional memory across multiple Claude Code projects? Bro, I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means. I just vibe code, bro. I just vibe code. I don't know what to tell you. Key. Tap into Google Notebook LM. Why? Sorry, just interested in honestly hearing talk about your process. I have many processes. So many people are saying like, what do you use for your process? I'm like, dude, I work 12 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week. And I wear many hats, managing stuff and making content and working on the product. It cut out. And so I have many processes. And so I'm curious, another question in vain, what other resources can you suggest similar to SERP API? Good question. Yeah, I really like SERP API. There's another one, I'll put it in the chat here. It's called Supa Data. And this Supa Data, so Supa Data API allows you to scrape YouTube transcripts because Google doesn't allow this by default, but you can, I saw a video of yours that makes references to visual design for apps with a Figma pick. Could you talk about it? I'm trying to figure out what video that was. I think what I did is I connected it to Claude and had Claude analyze a Figma, and then I turned it into a skill. And then I turned it into a skill and then gave that to Claude Code so that I could always create apps. And so, yeah, you can do that. You can, what you can do, well, I guess, yeah, we can talk about anything we want here. So right now, by default, it only has one skill creator skill. But you can also create a skill for your brand design. And so one way to do that is if you actually go to Claude and you connect your Figma, right? You can search which file you want to use in Figma, and then you can say, analyze this and convert it into a Claude skill. And it will. Because it has SVG files, it can analyze it pretty well. It doesn't work perfectly, but it works decently well, actually. Random, I saw you're hiring. Yeah, we're constantly hiring. What's a boring internal tool that you use Claude for every week that replaced a spreadsheet? I don't know if that was me, Mr. Cathria. I don't know. What's a boring internal tool that you use Claude for every week that replaced a spreadsheet? I don't have one that replaced spreadsheets. Spreadsheets are kind of sick. I do use AI to edit spreadsheets now, which is kind of cool. But yeah, for memory, create a KB folder. Okay, I can get off this. Where was I? Oh, dude, I'm going crazy. There we go. Oh, I see. Here we go. Oh man, this is taking forever. But that's just how Claude Code works. It just takes a long time, unfortunately. Do people need to download the Vibe Code app to use the web app? No. Can you create a paid version with the web app? What do you mean by that? Like create paid version, like add a paywall to your apps? On vibecode.dev, you do not need to download the mobile app necessarily. You can just use the web app, and you can add paywalls. Wow, this takes forever. Night. One. Someone said one. One. No, I don't do swarms or subagents. I liked your Obsidian with Claude Code, by the way. It got me started with Claude Code. Yeah, I want that, but in the cloud. Like, I wish there was a cloud-based Obsidian. I'm not huge on the local files thing. Like, I want to be able to use it on multiple different computers. I'm effed for going with Firebase, and my app is almost done. I see everyone with Supabase. No. Firebase is better than Supabase. Depends. But, like, you're not effed. They do the same shit, dude. Like, it's fine. Supabase, there's so many negatives to Supabase. I'm telling you, you're fine. You can use Firebase. I don't know. Everyone talks about Supabase just because Lovable went with Supabase at the beginning and they still use Supabase. Yeah, you could use Notion. But like what I'm talking about is like just a notebook that runs in the cloud that you can connect to Obsidian. Claude Code. I think that would be my ideal use case. But I think that's kind of the idea around ClaudeBot, is you just let the repo be the notebook. And so like as you talk to it, it kind of saves all the info. You can ask for it. You can create new skills. Is it true that Claude resends everything? Each chat, if you create large code, it resends the whole code base every question. Not sure fully what you mean. Is it true that Claude resends everything each chat? You'll be able to do that with Thymer. Still in alpha. Is that your tool, Devin? I'm down to try it. If you have a link to a demo, show me. Or maybe Capacity's not tried it. Someone said yes. I don't know fully know who he's saying yes to. Geez, this is taking so long, right? Yeah, it had to install and configure the Agent SDK, which does take a while. Now it's building the front end. So this should be, now we're to the front end. It should get a lot simpler here. I think there's a lot of pretty difficult logic in creating this, but we will see. What else? What else? Obsidian has Cloud Web. Not sure if it syncs, though. Damn, cuh. So this Manus clone. So this is a Manus clone. Yes, I'm trying to build Manus. Let's see what we get off one prompt. I've put in one singular prompt for Manus, and we'll see how it does. But, oh my goodness, it's taking forever. Looks like it syncs. Obsidian has Cloud Web. Not sure if it syncs, though. There's Obsidian Sync. Yep, it's a paid service. Yeah, I know that it can sync. But like, does it automatically? I want to be able to just do it quickly on my phone. Yeah, I can look into it. Thoughts on the Claude Constitution? Don't care. I don't care. I feel like I don't care. I think all of those guys are LARPing about Constitution. At the end of the day, they're going to build the best model and make it awesome, and it's all fake. I'm just kidding. I'm being silly, but to a degree, I'm not. I think they will change their Constitution if it means they make more money in the long run. That's what I think will happen. You know, OpenAI said they weren't going to do ads, and now they're doing ads. Like, it'll just change as the business model evolves. Claude will just change their Constitution to support their business model. That's how I think. But I think they're a trustworthy company compared to OpenAI. I really like Anthropic. I think they're awesome. I know a lot of people at Anthropic. They're down the street. I could throw a football to their office from here in San Francisco. I can see their office almost. So that's kind of fun. I've been there for lunch a few times. But I don't read their Constitution. What else, guys? Oh, let's go. We have something updating. Let's build Manus, baby. Come on. Come on. Instrument Sans. Oh, I also found my favorite font the other day. It's called Instrument Sans. I just love it. I'm going to do one follow-up prompt. So key is here for the Agent SDK if you need it. Also, please restyle slightly. I don't like the orange icon. Get rid of it. Get rid of all orange. Make it dark gray. And please, wait, did I include the font in the original one? Yeah. This should be the font. So we can actually queue up prompts. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. One in the queue. But we're not actually optimizing anything, so this will still count as one prompt. So let's see how close we got to Manus in one prompt using the Agent SDK. Any MCP? I just use tools. I don't use MCP anymore. No, Claude Code doesn't resend entire code files with every response. The cost of subsidizing all the users right now is going up, and they don't want to raise the prices too much. Any MCP? Oh, yeah. Okay, I already saw that one. Okay. It appears that it's almost done. Okay. Now it's just doing the follow-up. Open in a folder, work in a folder, Opus 4.5. We can create a file, crunch data, make prototype, draft a message. I'll update the design to remove the font. Okay, so we're just going to edit the styling real quick. I don't want to enter a prompt because it'll interfere with the app, but I'm excited to see what is going on here. Okay, so it did set up the database. So look at this. So it automatically created it with 3 database files. We have a task file, a message file, and a generated file tab. So this app is already compatible with generating images, which is really cool. So let's see. This UI is going to get a lot better. So yeah, task messages, generated files. It doesn't have auth. I didn't ask for auth. This is a personal app, which is kind of what I put into the category of agentic workspace or agent workspace. It's made for me. I could always add authentication later, but I always find that when you're getting started out, try to just build tools that are useful for you. And this will be cool. Let's see if it's done. Almost done. Basically just removing the orange. But I wonder how long that was. Probably 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 12 minutes. I don't know. Oh, actually, I can see when I entered the prompt. I entered the prompt 18 minutes ago. Okay, so this is a while. This is over 15 minutes for the first prompt, and then 2 minutes for the follow-up. I'm not going through ClaudeBot. I'll make a whole ClaudeBot day. So once Vibecode Manus is built, we still use our credits from Vibecode or Claude. We're going to build it into the API. So you can use your own Claude API key, or you can use it within Vibecode. We do not take any, you can use a bunch of different APIs within Vibecode, right? You can use the Gemini API. You can use the image, Nano Banana. We do not take a margin on those, right? You can just use them for at the cost, right? If you have a Vibecode subscription, you can just use the APIs in your app and it's part of your account. Oh my God. Oh my God. I did not think this would take a while. Okay, we're done. We're good. So we basically did one prompt. All I did was a restyling prompt because I wanted it to look cooler, but we basically just did one prompt to see if we can create Manus. Let's see what happens here. So let's go ahead and refresh this. I'm going to say, hello, please search the internet and tell me, can we use Open Router? That's a good idea. We'll add Open Router. Hello, please search the internet and tell me about the Seahawks. Let's start off with an easy one. About the Seahawks. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, we have this little Claude co-work. We did get an immediate failure. So hello. Okay, it failed. Let me see what happens when we refresh. Okay, so we got this X, invalid API key. Okay, so we just got an API key issue. I'm going to copy this. I'm not sure why it was I got this issue, yet I gave you this. And then in the environment variables, I'm going to re-implement this off screen real quick. One sec. Okay. But it kind of looks cool. Like it looks like Claude Cowork. Progress failed. Working folder. Manus workspace. And we can actually see that in here. Like we could look up like Manus workspace. Oh, Manus dash workspace. So this is a folder in here, Manus dash workspace. Okay, this is interesting. Let me see. Let me see. Okay. No, 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 no. All right, so now it's testing the API key. Sorry if this is kind of boring. When is the code panel going to be available for mobile apps? What do you mean? The code panel available for mobile apps? Oh, is it not available? I'm pretty sure it is. We create a new mobile app. I'm pretty sure you can just click on code editor. Yeah, there you go. Skills, Expo docs, everything. And this is not an admin account. So this is available for any paid user. You can just see the, my goodness. Yeah, Manus. This is it. Okay, let's test this again. Hello. Bruh. Fuck, did I? Shit, you are right, my friend. Riley Bash. I did just leak my key. I need to re-enter it. I just rotated the key. Please fix right now. Make this work. What is going on? Whew. Boring will be the most useful, realistic thing we have, though. With you not boring, you might say boring, but this shows what it's like in real time. The pop out is nice. I don't know what pop out. I'm just not going to watch it work. I don't want the bash command to expose keys. What other questions? I really appreciate your videos, Riley. That font, though. You like the font? I like it too. Instrument Sans. It's kind of fun. Okay, let's talk about this one while this is loading. Virtual Solution said, I want to build a web app where users paste their profile link and auto detects their listings. Profile link to what? And they can edit them in app. What stack do you recommend? Like what listings? Let's talk about this. Ugh. This key is not, I think it's a proxy key. Fuck. Hold on. We might have disabled this feature because I see that the API key, because we're working on the agentic apps feature right now. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Okay. Oh, did it just refresh? Okay, hello. Okay. It's working. It's working. It's working. Let me see. Save progress. Hello, tell me about the Seahawks. Let's see if this is working. Why do that? Oh, maybe because I ran multiple at the same time. Okay. So let's try this again. New task. Hello there. Tell me about pizza. Okay, so we're getting this network error, but when we refresh, we see that it works. So currently, when I enter a new task, it just kind of fails and then says network error, yet it actually does end up working because when I refresh the page, I can see it in recents. And so something about the rendering might be failing. I don't know quite sure what it's failing, but the app is working. It's functional. Also change it so like the format is rendered properly, right? The bold formatting shows the bold. It's just not the correct formatting. I'll give you a screenshot to reference. So I'm just going to send like this. Whatever happened to the theme app you took from PWA and made native? How is that app doing? I don't know which app you're talking about. I make apps every day, so you might need to. Who's PWA? Loading, 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 load. I love it when AI is loading. It's my favorite thing ever. It's so fun. Just kidding. Okay. Hello there. My name is Riley. Don't have a network error. Don't be annoying. What the heck is that? It's double responding. Hey, it's double responding right now. But it did fix the formatting and it didn't fail. So we're making progress. Please fix. What else can we do? Okay, search the internet. Tell me about Riley Brown AI. Oh, using web search, Riley Brown AI. That looks pretty cool. So just like Claude Code. Nice. What the heck is going on? No, okay, so the what the heck? Okay. Because it's making changes to the app, we're getting these like errors here. Okay. See, progress is working in the Manus workspace context. By the way, what are the Seahawks? It's a football team. I don't know what's happening here. I'm going to add a new task. I think it failed. Hello, search the internet. Tell me about the Seahawks record. Okay. Using web search, Seahawk record, 2025-2026 NFL season. Okay. It put using web search tool. Now focus on the web search. Make that look good. I have no idea if they'll win the Super Bowl. I'm from Seattle, and I love the Seahawks. I used to watch a lot more sports. Then I got into business, and then I stopped watching sports. New focus on the web search. Make that look good. It appears like it just kind of stops after it does a web search. It doesn't finish the response, or it's not stored properly, and it doesn't show up in the chat. So please make that work better. Because like I asked, this didn't have to search the internet. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think it's working. I run into this problem a lot. Please make the chat work better. Please make that work better. What else do we want our cowork to do? Hello, mate. No. Okay, please search internet. Tell me about Manus AI and meta acquisition. Okay, I'll search for information about Manus AI. And then now it's searching the internet. I hope this gets stored properly. I think we can take a look in the database real quick. You can kind of see what's going on here. We see all of the tasks. We see all of the messages. There's a lot more messages than tasks. Content. Hello. Okay, so all of this is, we haven't had any files generated yet, which is why there's nothing in that table, but we have a bunch of tasks and a bunch of messages. So that's why it saves automatically. Make your cowork, make new cowork, lol. Okay, look at this. So now we got it to search the internet. So we are getting this like double response. So if you look at this, but look at this, it shows all of its sources in a really clean format. Manus AI meta acquisition, but the problem is it is doing a double response. So I want to see. I'm going to let it know. Okay, so now it's actually working properly. It's just like double responding. So I asked it to search the internet, and then it generated a response, a long response, and the last response is being double shown. I'm going to see if follow-up questions work. In one word, tell me your thoughts on this. Don't use tools, just answer. Let's see if we can do follow-up responses. See, I can't scroll up now, so which tells me, oh, what? Okay, yeah, it created an it created a new chat. I also can't do follow-up questions. I want to be able to do that. I guess it looks cooler like this. It's a new task. Crunch data. Wait, create a file. Create the simplest file you can based on your instructions. Okay, it created a file. Can it store it in the database? Did it store it in the file database? It did. Okay. Oh, you can see the cost of each one. Look at this. 2 turns, 2 cents. I don't trust this though. Let's wait for this to finish up real quick, and then we'll try and figure this out. Okay, so anyway, you can create things. You can create something like Manus. It can create files. I don't really, we've talked about adding tools a bunch. I just realized that we have someone coming by to do some work on the office in 4 minutes. So I think I'm going to end the stream. I had a lot of fun, kind of just messing around, trying to add the SDK. I'm going to make this significantly easier. Just going through this process, I mean, obviously I only spent like 5 or 6 prompts on this. I'm inspired to make this easier. So I'm going to make a video on the Claude SDK. I'm going to make sure it one prompts everything, and I'm going to come up with a better use case than just like Manus. I think there's a lot of use cases for SDK. So we can see the current SDK and build it locally. Yeah, and so I am going to make a much better video on SDK. I've only experimented with it 3 times, if I'm being honest. And Claude Code just does pretty well if you tell it to use it. Like you can add tools. Like we're creating an agent that operates in the file system, right? Like we can, like, what did we just do? Oh yeah, double responses. Like you can search the internet just like Claude Code. Please, can you search the internet? Tell me more about how to use Claude Bot. And then, yeah, you can create an agent. You could create a skill that automatically turns its research into a PDF, and it could send that PDF in Slack. You can add skills. If you go back to the beginning of this live stream, you'll see I've talked a lot about skills and how you can just ask for it to create skills. Can you leave this live on YouTube? Yes, I'll leave this up. Experimenting is what vibe coding is all about. Yeah, I'm just obsessed with experimenting, but like, basically, I want to allow other people to experiment with the Claude SDK, and this is just really hard. I'm realizing that this is just way too hard to do. It's really hard to see what options. So my goal, okay, we got rid. Look at this. I mean, this is pretty solid. Like, please search the internet. This response looks pretty good. It can search the internet and create this. Let's just see what happens. Oh, I want to be able to do a follow-up. Turn this into a PDF and then store it in the database as a PDF. I don't know how to do it. Please figure it out. Oh, okay, so now we can do follow-up questions. Like, it's coming together, right? Prompt after prompt. I'll help you create a PDF from that information and store it in the database. Updating to-dos. I mean, look at this. We're literally creating an agent. Wow, I was getting discouraged, but now it's kind of nice. Look at that. Look at that. It's kind of sick. And it has context, web search, to-dos. I mean, this is kind of like co-work, you know? It's obviously it's janky. We create it in 5 prompts, but like, it's kind of cool. We're creating co-work. That's called Manus. Now it's writing a file. So let's see if it can just create this PDF, and let's see if it stores it in the database. One thing I'll need to do is please put at the top left below new task a button that says view files that lets me see all files in the, and then we can find the database table, generated file table. Generated file table. Uh-oh, I hope I don't interfere. We'll see. We'll see if this interferes with the chat. Call it co-vibe. Ooh, I like that, co-vibe. Vibe bot, co-vibe. We could actually create that as a new option. We could create a co-work, a cloud-based co-work. Wouldn't be that hard. I mean, we already did all the hard part, which is creating this, getting Claude Code to run in the sandbox. It would just be a new interface for it. Because this agent is Claude Code. Except we could, I don't know, we could do a lot of things better than Anthropic. We can't do everything better than them, but I'm sure there's some things we could do better. Okay, so it didn't work. That's the problem. But anyway, I have to jump. I'm going to end this stream. I could do this forever. I'm going to make a better Claude SDK video, and I'm going to make a specific Remotion video as well. Those are both going to be awesome.